What is going on, guys? Welcome to the Reformed Reader, the channel where we review different forms of media through the lens of a Christian who is under the authority of the Scriptures. My name is Josh, and today we're going to be doing our first weekly update. Now, many of you have asked for this, and I've just kind of been reluctant to get busy doing it, I guess, for numerous reasons. One is that there's not a lot to update at the end of each week. I'm a pretty slow reader, so I don't have books upon books to show you guys that I've been reading throughout the week, and you will see that here shortly, but a lot of you have asked for it, so I don't know that I'm going to continue to do a weekly update, but I would just like to kind of keep you guys updated this week. Maybe I'll kick that off next year. I don't know. Let me know down in the comment section below if you guys are interested in that. I just thought, since this is going to be a weekly update, I'm not going to do a bunch of edits. I'm not going to do a bunch of jump cuts like I normally do, and I'm going to leave in all of my mistakes. So if you guys, see, there's me looking at the camera, make sure it's working. So if this is something that you guys are interested in, again, just leave me a comment down below. So let's start first with just a simple life update. This week has been a crazy week for me with work. I have this annual class that I have to attend, and it's a 2-day class, and that class takes up a lot of time. So I think the first day I was gone for like 14 or 15 hours, and the second day I was gone a little bit less, but it's just sitting in a room, pretty much an adult classroom, going over these books and manuals. And so by the end of the day, I'm just spent. There's not really that I want to do. And sort of all of the brain power that I would use towards reading at the end of the day, it's just gone. So there hasn't been a lot of reading from me this week, again, which you will see in just a minute. So yeah, that, and then we've just got real life stuff going on. You know, it's around the Christmas season, so we've got different Christmas type things that we're trying to check off the list, whether it be Christmas movies or going to see Christmas lights or, you know, different gatherings and those kind of things. So it's been a little busy. And then on top of that, because I had that class for 2 days, I had enough overtime to where they just let us off Friday. And so the plan was for me, I'm recording this Saturday. So the plan was for me yesterday to just kind of get up, go and get the oil changed and come home and get to read. And that did not happen. I went and got the oil changed and then get home and I have a leak somewhere. And so then I had to try to identify the leak. And yeah, I wasn't done with that until about 4 or 5 o'clock. And so again, at that point, the amount of brain power that I would use towards reading was, it was zapped. So we've just kind of been able to crash and watch some TV shows and some movies and watch some cop videos on YouTube and stuff. If you guys like cop videos, I highly recommend Fridays with Frank. He's hilarious. But it's been a busy, hectic week for us personally. So I haven't really had a lot of time to read because, like for instance, with Sun Eater, because it's so long, a lot of times I will listen to it on audio on my commute back and forth to work. But my commute this week, even that was interrupted because I was picked up by a coworker and we rode up to where the class is. So I didn't even have time to do my audiobook. So I guess let's get started with what am I reading? And the first and foremost book is going to be Sun Eater. So this is Shadows Upon Time. It's the last book. And man, this book is way longer than I realized. This book is as long as Stormlight. I have been really trying to plow through it as much as possible, listening on audio when I was able, and reading it at home when I was able. And I am like 8 to 10 hours into it already, and I'm not even 20% through it yet. And so, it's been a little discouraging, to be transparent with you guys, about just trying to get it checked off the list. It's not that I'm not enjoying it. It's good. The beginning of the book, like the structure of it, I'm not super crazy about. For those of you that have read it or are reading it, you know what I'm talking about. And I'll go into this in depth when I do my review for it. But I'm not crazy about the structure of the first part of the book. And so it's making it a little more of a challenge It's not difficult. It's just an extra hurdle that we have to jump as readers that I preferentially am not really a fan of. So yeah, it's really long, and it's probably going to take me all month to read it. Didn't realize that it would. So I know Combat Codes and the first Cinder Spires book were two of the books that I was going to try to get done by the end of the month. And it's not looking like that's going to take place. But I did start Inkheart. This is the book that my friend Zeke recommended, and it was the one that I chose when we did our little group chat. If you guys haven't checked that out, please go and do so. It was a ton of fun. But yeah, so Zeke chose for me Inkheart, and I've started it. I think it's a middle grade book. It is very reminiscent to me of Neverending Story. It has a lot of the same kind of feel to it. There's parts of it that are a little bit creepier, and there's parts of it that are not as creepy. If you guys have seen Neverending Story, you know what I'm talking about. So like the creep factor comes from like the plot, whereas Neverending Story, the creep factor came from like the horrible claymation and weird monster things. Yeah, those things were terrifying. So it's a little bit different, but it does kind of have that that sort of feel to it. And so I think I'm really, really going to enjoy it. I haven't dove too far into it. I'm only like 2 chapters into it right now, but I can really see some influence there, probably from the Neverending Story. And if that's the case, I think I'm really going to love it. So what am I reading? I'm reading Inkheart, and I'm reading Shadows Upon Time. So this leads me into what am I going to read this coming week? More Shadows Upon Time. This is going to be a very slow week for me at work. After this week, I'll be taking off for Christmas, so I should be able to get quite a bit of reading done, whether it be listening or actually reading it. So I'm going to read that, and then I'm going to read Inkheart, and then, man, I think I'm starting to experience some like sci-fi fantasy burnout a little bit. I'm not quite there, but I'm kind of on the cusp of it. So I think I need to read something to kind of cleanse the palate while I'm going through Shadows Upon Time. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm not scrapping anything as far as my TBR goes, but I don't think that I'm going to be able to get to Cinder Spires because of how thick that book is. I think it's like 1,200 pages or something. Rather than jump into another sci-fi book, which is Combat Codes, I think I'm just going to shift gears entirely. If I'm able to finish Inkheart, I think I may pick up one of those Dennis Lehane books, just because it's something so completely different that it'll be that palate cleanse. It'll be refreshing to me to kind of jump into something else, which will also encourage me to plow through Sun Eater even more. So I think maybe that's what I'll do. Maybe I'll go through Shutter Island. That one is, that movie is one of my favorite movies. So maybe I'll do that. So let's talk about this past week on the channel. I put out 2 book reviews. I put out a book review for Disquiet Gods and for Weird Space 2 Dawn of the Warriors by A.M. Wiley. I know normally I do like 1 fun video a week, and then I do 1 book review. But because of Thanksgiving and a couple of other things, like I know with Christmas coming up, I wanted to make sure that I put out several book reviews, because I know that's what a lot of you are coming here for. So I wanted to make sure that I put those book reviews out to give you guys maybe some better insight into these books in case you're thinking about buying them for Christmas or maybe after Christmas with some gift cards and things. But absolutely loved both books. They are vastly different. But Weird Space 2 was really, really good. I had a lot of fun with it. I had a lot of fun with that review, and Disquiet Gods. I had a lot of fun with making the little trailer, the mock trailer for both of those. So if you haven't seen those, check those out, because those were a lot of fun. So what's coming up this week on the channel? I've got a couple of things. So first and foremost, I'll be dropping my Ordinary Grace review on Wednesday. Probably I try to drop them at 10:30 on Wednesday, so that should be coming up. But then later on that evening, so 7 o'clock Central Time, I'll be over on Josh over at Already Overbooked. I'll be over on his channel, and I think we're live streaming, and we'll be discussing Ordinary Grace. So I think we're going like full spoilers maybe, but yeah, we're really gonna deep dive into Ordinary Grace, because that book is fantastic. It's gonna wreck you, but it is great. So I'm really excited to get to talk to Josh and to get to have some, not just one-on-one, but some banter about some of the things that we both experienced. And yeah, that should be a lot of fun. So if you guys can't get enough Ordinary Grace from my review Wednesday, then jump on over to Josh's channel, and I'll try to link it in the description whenever it goes live. But yeah, come join us and hang out and listen to us ramble on a little bit about a book. So both of those things are Wednesday. And then I think that I'm going to do my wife's top 10 books. And this is for some of you who not only love to read, but some of you ladies that are looking for something else, maybe something outside of the sci-fi fantasy wheelhouse, but then also maybe for some of you husbands, if you're looking for some books for your wives, this is a great resource. So I think she and I both are going to be doing that video together, and I think that's going to drop maybe Friday or Saturday. It just depends on if you guys want more of these weekly updates. Because if you do, maybe I'll drop another one Sunday. And if you don't, then maybe I'll drop the top 10 video Sunday. We'll just see. Oh, some cool things on the channel. So a couple of these are like a little old, so it wasn't necessarily this week. But the first one, which was really cool, is that I got to edit one of my brother Sam over at iSamwise. Got to edit one of his videos. So if you guys haven't checked out his video where he's telling us to quit lying about there not being standalones in fantasy and sci-fi, which, you know, I took full offense to that because I've said that a few times. But that's a great video that shows you how many standalones there really are out there. And that was a really fun edit. It was a lot more effort than I expected it to be. And then when I get to the end and I sent it to him, somehow along the way, the audio and the video like didn't sync properly, and I'm just kicking myself, you know, but that was fun. And then I got a pretty cool email this week from Jason Cordova. And for those of you that know who Jason Cordova is, or I'm sorry, for those of you who don't know, he is an assistant editor over at Baen Books, or Baen Books. I'm not sure how it's pronounced. But he's also an author, and he wrote the Wraithkin novels that Jonathan Cohn has been raving about, which are on my TBR, by the way. So I get an email from Jason Cordova, which I thought was really cool. Just the fact that he would email me at all. But then he said, hey, we found your channel and we really enjoy it, and we would love to send you some books if you're up for it. And he said, we don't care if you read them. We don't care if you review them or if it's good or bad or whatever. We just want to send you some free books. But we do ask that if you do review them, whether it's good or bad, will you please just tag us in it so that way we can use it for publicity or whatever, and promotion. I was like, are you kidding? Absolutely. And so they sent me 1, 2, 3, 4. They sent me 5 books. So the first one they sent me was The Mills of the Gods, which is the new Tim Powers book that has just come out, I believe. Then they sent me Dragons Gone Wild by Dan Cobalt. I guess that's how you say his name. Then we have Graveyard of Demons, which is a Son of the Black Sword or Saga of the Forgotten Warrior series by Larry Correia. And then I Dare by Sharon Lee and Steve Miller, which is a sci-fi novel. And then they sent The Icarus Needle by Timothy Zahn. And I was just like, that is super cool. Not just that Jason Cordova would even email me, but that they were like, yeah, hey, we like your channel. We'd love to send you some books. I'm like, yes, please do, you know. And so I've been able to have some dialogue back and forth with them. And yeah, this is going to be awesome. And I hope to get to Wraithkin early next year. So that way I'd love to be able to have a conversation with him and pick his brain about a lot of things. Maybe that'd be boring to you guys, but I'd find it extremely fun and an excuse to make a new video. Really, it's just an excuse to talk to him. But yeah, that would be really cool. And then since I'm talking about a couple books that I grabbed, I'll talk about a few books that I found at the thrift store. The first one is Buckaroo Banzai. And this is by the Reno Kid with E.M. Rausch. I guess that's how you pronounce his name. Anyway, apparently this was a movie like in the 80s, maybe 80s, early 90s. And I've never seen the movie, don't know anything about it, but I've seen this cover for a couple of years. And look at that. That is so cool. I know it seems like Josh, you're such a nerd. You've got almost looks like an Ecto-1 right there. But then you've got the samurai with the guitar. Like, yeah, I couldn't pass this up just because of the cover. And every time I've seen this book, it's like $30. And I think I got it for $2 at Goodwill. So yeah, I had to pick that one up. And then the other one I picked up was because of my brother Jordan over at First Line Library. And I found a hardcover of The River by Peter Heller. I plan to jump into Peter Heller pretty soon. Maybe I'll jump into Peter Heller instead of Dennis Lehane. Just now popped in my noggin. Maybe we'll do that. I'm not sure yet. I'll let you guys know. But yeah, that was super cool. I was like, of course, he's been telling me about Peter Heller, and I've got a few ebooks. I think I purchased them back several months ago, but I don't have a physical copy of any of them. So really glad to be adding The River, which I think is Jordan's favorite of his novels. So yeah, and he's told me this is kind of the place to start. So looking forward to that. But yeah, guys, pretty boring week, honestly. And with these weekly updates, it's one of those things that I've tossed around back and forth of, do people even want to see that? And then I caught myself thinking about it the other day, and I don't watch as much BookTube as I used to, in part because I'm making videos now. And a lot of the channels that I watch now are actually some of the smaller channels, but I would watch Mike each week. I loved seeing his weekly updates, and Talking Story, John and Jacob. I would watch their weekly readers, and pretty much every booktuber that I know of does some sort of weekly update. Josh over Already Overbooked, man, that dude flies through some books. So he has a reason to do weekly update, but I've never really considered it just because, I don't read a ton of books. I might read, 4, maybe 5 books a month. And so each week I'm like, yeah, I read this same book again, especially when I'm reading something thick like Sun Eater. But yeah, really, if you guys like this, if you guys like the weekly reader and you want to just kind of hang out each week, I'm happy to do that, because I did catch myself thinking about, Mike and Talking Story and Josh and several others where they do these weekly reader, weekly updates. And it did kind of just seem like I got to hang out with some guys each week. So again, if this is something you guys are interested in, let me know down in the comment section below, and maybe we'll just keep on keeping on. But we got a couple other really cool things coming up, down the pipes for the month of December. One that I'm really, really looking forward to, which will be a great collaboration video with some of you even. So that'll be really cool. And just looking forward to Christmas, looking forward to get to spend some time with my wife and kids and just kind of, unplug with everything and sort of decompress with work. And so I got some cool videos pre-recorded and ready to send out to you guys. And yeah, just hope you guys have a great week ahead. But like I said, let me know if this is something that you want me to continue, or if you're like, yeah, we get enough of you with a monthly update or whatever. I don't blame you. But yeah, I just want to say I appreciate you guys coming and hanging out with me. I hope you guys have a great week ahead. I hope you guys are excited about the Christmas season. I love and appreciate each and every one of you, and I'll see you guys on the next one.